This has been a long time coming. I picked this up quite a while ago, actually. It has an issue, and I've been sort of sitting on it, pondering how to approach that issue and fix it. And I was just getting ready to try and fix it and record how well this went when a friend of mine who was dropping some stuff off was like, "Hey, I found something you might be interested in." And you know what? He was right. This is a pair of Sony Betamax VCRs model SL-HF860D. So the HF, these are hi-fi. These are also super beta. And the D stands for digital special effects. I did a video on a Hitachi made RCA that had these effects. And this is from around the same year. I think this is like 1988. This is a fairly new Betamax VCR in the grand scheme of things. And check this out. So these doors are awful. I think every model out there of this VCR, these break. So see, it's broken on this side, but this door is broken on that side. So they're both broken, but on different parts. Anyway, the problem with this one is a little spiral gear that's on the shaft of the motor. Now, what happens is it's a plastic spiral gear, and over time the plastic shrinks, but the metal doesn't shrink, and it cracks. Very common when you have plastic parts mixed with metal parts, where you get the plastic parts cracking as they shrink over time. So the issue is that the loading on this one is inconsistent. When I was using it for a while, I had to push the tape in, help it back out, which means you always have to have the cover off when you're using it. So let's see what it'll do right now. So this is a test of the broken one. Works perfectly fine. Again, it's an inconsistent issue. Usually there's enough friction for the gear to work. This one sounds butter smooth. This one actually sounds like it's in better shape. Oh, that sounds nice. Yeah, so they both appear to be in a working condition right now, to the point where I would like to test them out. Okay, up first is... Oh! There we go. So it was slipping. It appears to be in enough to play. You could hear the motor silently spinning. Okay, let's... Oh yeah. Hi-Fi's working. Very nice pause. Of course, that's actually a digital frame buffer. So it goes and finds a nice clean image and then shoots that into the frame buffer. So when I hit play, it'll momentarily freeze up. And pause again. And then going through all the special effects, let's hit play. Picture art, mosaic art. You can see the pixelation there. Flash motion. Stop motion. That's just, it stays paused until I press the button. So yeah, and there's picture in picture. I showed all this on that RCA. This was kind of like a real, kind of a gimmick, but I believe some of these features kind of were kept, like the digital frame buffer for when you pause and stuff like that. Some other models kept it, but this picture art and mosaic art and stuff, that's super gimmicky. What's cool is it's a Betamax VCR that has 2 line inputs, one on the front. Now this was getting into real modern amenities. We got the controls. Has the slide record button that's so common. This actually has MTS stereo for the tuning. So it's got a stereo tuner as well, which is very unusual for me on a Betamax machine because they're normally very old. Clock counter. It has a linear counter. Very nice. Tape return that rewinds. I've gone through that on all the other models. I don't know what check does. And we've got here digital tracking control, sharpness, record mode. I don't know what that does. Super beta, input selector. So it's on one of the line ins. You can also go to tuner. Tuner turns on there. Your audio monitor controls hi-fi or linear, and then stereo left or right. Left and right, just take that one channel and put it on both speakers. MPX filter if you're recording off, so like a simulcast off the radio. Normal audio, main and second audio program. I think it's second audio program, I can't remember. Tuning controls, auto stereo if you want to just go to mono for some reason. Yeah, I mean it's pretty bare bones. Headphone jack with the volume control or whatnot. So I knew that this one worked. Well, at least it would play once the tape is in. Let's see if I can eject. Oh yeah, okay. What I don't know is if this top one works. So let me just change the cables over. All right. Oh, that loading is just butter. It's just butter. It's very nice.
We're tracking a probe of unknown origin on a apparent trajectory.
No problems at all. Beauty. Oh, I am excited. I've got 2 decent, modern-ish Betamax machines. And they both support Super Beta, Hi-Fi, seem to have a pretty good picture. These are both 2-head models. They're not the DA+1, like the 2710 that I use as my workhorse. This guy right over here. This one has a better video head, but I mean, that's really only for special effects. As far as these go, oh yeah, you know what? Do I have batteries in this? I don't remember who in what video, might have been 12-volt vids, was talking about the Sony command modes, how VTR1 was for Betamax, 2 was for VHS, and 3 was for Video 8 or something like that. But it does work well because I have remote control here. Don't give a jog and shuttle because this doesn't support it. Oh, wait, no, I do. Check out when I spin this. And I can rewind it. Forward. And let's go back again. Is it only going forward? Let's see. Forward. Okay, and if I go backwards. Oh, okay. So this only goes forwards no matter what direction I spin it. It's just a frame advance control. Yeah, I doubt these other buttons would do anything. Doesn't have indexing. Audio monitor is a physical switch. Yeah, I mean, it works for some stuff. I don't have the remote for either of these, so. But that's pretty cool. Now what I'd like to do is take a look at the inside of these two. I want to compare the loading mechanism of this one to this one, because I suspect this one has been fixed at some point. And I want to try and repair this one. I haven't been able to find a replacement part for it, and I'm not the kind of person who just has parts machines all over the place where I could just throw a whole new basket in there. What I'm thinking of doing is getting some JB weld and trying to tack the gear onto the motor. Okay, this is my unit that I've had for a while with the broken gear, just to keep things sorted because I've already started mixing them up. The way we can tell the difference is I have a little tie around the power cable. That's honestly the only way I can tell the difference. Anyway, let's take a look at this little locky thing that locks into the gear here. It's spring loaded. And see that little crack right there? That's the problem. Smacking the camera here. So what I'm going to do is pop a tape in. Let's watch it. It was working fine there. And now if I hit eject, oy, okay. Let's do this a few times to get it to fail. There we go. So I help the tape out. Hit eject. Kind of help the tape out there. Whoop, come on. There we go. So yeah, this is spinning because, oh, it's actually still trying. The basket wasn't out all the way. So this is spinning on the motor shaft. Ideally, I would just get a new piece here. But you can't buy these anymore. And you basically have to find a parts machine to do any of this. And I have a perfectly working machine, so this would be the parts machine. But I'd kind of like it to work too. And I mean, this already is bad, so I might as well just clean the shaft off and try and maybe stick the plastic to it and see how well that works. Okay, front comes off with ease. It's all plastic clips except for 2 screws, one here and one here. But you do have to slide this bottom cover back in order to release the front plastic. But the nice thing is, see, you don't actually have to take all these screws out. You just have to loosen them. There, and there, and there. Nothing much to see here on the bottom. It's just too modern. There. Basket removal, super easy. You got 4 screws, those 2 on top front here. You do have to unplug this motor, which is kind of a pain because it goes under this board. So you got 2 screws here, and then the board flips up. You got to kind of work your way through these wire bundles to find it and unplug it. Not too bad though. So I'm going to get this out of the way so we can look at that. And here it is. Here's the motor that's causing all that fuss. And it's not actually the motor. Now, I don't know how close I can get this. Yeah, you're not going to be able to see it. You saw it earlier. There's a hairline crack here. So this piece, what I could do is I could epoxy or super glue it. What I'm thinking I want to do is I want to find a way to give it some friction. One thought I had was a metal clamp to go around this back bit here, and I could just clamp it down. But I haven't been able to find something that small and this exact size. I know they exist. I've seen them. For the life of me, I do not know what they're called. Another option is to temporarily clamp this down, and I think I already mentioned that, epoxy it in so that it has force. But now the epoxy is essentially being pulled, and I don't know what are the difference. There's like tensile strength, and anyway, I don't think epoxy has very good strength for pulling on it like that. So I don't know how well that would work. The third option is to get something like a JB Weld and it basically glue this piece to the shaft. Now the downside with that is it has to be perfectly positioned along here. And as you can see, I've been messing with it. So I'd have to realign it and then get it ready and get an exact measurement with caliper. But I think that is the best option right now. And worst case, if it doesn't work and it breaks free, I can still try and source a metal clamp. or try other methods, right? I mean, it's just back to where it was. So I'm going to give that a try. Here's the piece that it goes to. You can see this guy here. And yeah, so it just spins onto this and uses these little teeth here to spin it. Okay, so the next day, I know this stuff really only takes about 4 hours it's on the package to set, but so you can see it's nice and set. This JB Weld I used was pretty nasty. It's like a decade old, but it did mix up fine, but I threw the rest out because the tubes and stuff were clogged, so I had to stab them and do a bunch of whatever. Anyway, that is now, let's get some focus, glued on. You can sort of see the gob underneath there. Doesn't really want to move, which is what I want. I'm not really too concerned with that crack. I could put some epoxy in there. I don't know. I'm going to try it as is, mainly because I don't have any epoxy right now. Just ran out of that too. Got to go and buy all the new glues. Oh, it sounds delightful. I think that might be it to get this guy working. All the lubrication in here looks good. The grease looks clean. I've already cleaned the everything in here. So all the transport's nice and clean. As you saw, it was working great. In fact, let's...
Upwards around 180.
Ooh, look at that. Artifacting on the digital frame buffer. That's funny.
Yeah, you never know.
This is just some crappy old test tape. Motor is a little noisy sometimes, but yeah, I'll take it easy with this guy and hopefully it'll have years of service left in it. Now let's open up the good one and take a look at the difference. All right, here's the new machine. You can tell because the power cord is unraveled. And I just noticed, let's see if I can get it to the correct position. Oh, look at that. Come on. There is a hairline crack. So this suffers from the same problem as the other one, which is not surprising. It seems to be a pretty common issue. However, it doesn't seem to be causing an issue. So it could be that something's already been repaired on this to deal with that crack. Who knows? But at least I know there are solutions to repairing that. Yeah, I'm not really sure what else I could show on this guy. Could play around with some of the digital picture features. Yeah, let's do that.
Will your next VCR be fun? Of course, all VCRs give you a certain amount of entertainment value, but fun? Sony has injected fun into its newest series of digital Betamax VCRs in the form of a silicon chip called a digital memory device. This device has the capability of memorizing video pictures, which may not sound like a lot of fun, but wait till you see what it can do.
Star Trek, the next generation for the airwaves. All the wonder, the excitement, the drama of Gene Roddenberry's original Space Odyssey.
Welcome to the Enterprise.
With all-new adventures from the 24th century. With an all-new Enterprise.
This is nothing like any vessel I've seen before.
And an all-new crew. Starfleet veteran Captain Picard, Commander Riker, Executive Officer, Chief Medical Officer Crusher, and her brilliant son, Wesley, Lieutenant Commander Data, an android. the telepathic Troy. Security Officer Yar. Geordi, a man with unique vision. And Klingon Officer Worf.
Shields and deflectors up, sir.
Go to yellow alert.
Their continuing mission to boldly go where no one has gone before.
Let's see what's out there.
Don't miss the all-new television adventures of Star Trek: The Next Generation.
One last thing I wanted to test out is this Synchro edit that I'm sure people were screaming about. So my understanding is this is basically a way for one deck to send controls to another. There's an in and out connection on the back, which is a 3.5mm or 1/8" audio jack. I just took a cable, just a cheapy cable, and hooked it from the out here to the in on the bottom deck, and then the video out goes in there and then comes out from the bottom deck to the TV. So I have a tape in here paused, so pause, and then I have Synchro Edit turned on down here, and I have record pause. Now I think if I just hit pause here, no, that only does the top one. If I hit this, they both unpause. Okay. So they both unpause at the same time. Now if I hit pause here, still only does the top one. Do I turn Synchro Edit off here? No. Not fully understanding it, but if I press Synchro Edit, they both unpause at the same time. So I believe that's sort of working, I guess. Oh, and that record mode that I'm like, I don't know what that is. Ooh, we're just going to pause that. Record mode's actually record speed, so it just switches between beta 2 and beta 3. The bottom one is still recording, though. What the heck? Okay. So, Synchro Edit off. Synchro Edit on. Oh, okay, yeah. So then you use the Synchro Edit button to pause and unpause. So you can line everything up between your play and your record deck. And then I think if the decks support more things like frame by frame control and editing, you can get it real precise, like if it does like insert video editing and stuff like that. These don't, so I think like the fancier models like the 900 and the 1000 do that. Still though, this is pretty useful, right? Keep toying with the copyright police. Yeah, anyway, I just wanted to show the Synchro Edit feature, which is kind of cool. Anyway, that's it. Just kind of wanted to show off these Betamax VCRs. I'm pretty excited about them. And yeah, I'll be using these for digitizing a lot of stuff. Okay, bye.
Including a full control remote commander, 151 channel capable express tuning system, edit switch, linear time counter, front panel video audio line inputs, and an easy setting 7-day 6-event programmable timer.